Anne-Sophie Mutter plays Antonin Dvorak's violin concerto with the Berlin Philharmonic, here conducted by Manfred Honeck on her new album.
The
final recording was actually a run-through one Saturday morning where we just had 40 minutes left, and I asked the orchestra to play it through one more time, as if there were no tomorrow. And that's how it came about. I'm so glad that we used those 40 minutes as if it were the last concert of our lives.
She's played plenty of concerts with the Berlin Philharmonic, but the last time Anne-Sophie Mutter recorded an album with them was 30 years ago, when Herbert von Karajan was principal conductor.
I've always loved the Berlin Philharmonic, and this is the generation that followed the one I grew up with under Herbert von Karajan. It was on December 11th, 1976 that I auditioned with von Karajan, and every time I'm backstage here, I think of it.
Herbert von Karajan, who died in 1989, had discovered Anne-Sophie Mutter and invited her to play with the Berlin Philharmonic. That launched her international career. Wilfried Strehle was a member of the orchestra back then.
There was this 14-year-old girl who played with us at the Salzburg Festival, with von Karajan, Mozart's Concerto in G major, and everyone was speechless. It was a miracle. Everyone, the orchestra, the audience, everyone had the feeling that something special was happening. It was as if Mozart had held his hand over her. It was ideal. We were simply fascinated.
Anne-Sophie Mutter was 5 years old when she discovered the violin. She was a prodigy and won many awards. She loved Antonin Dvorak's works as a teenager, but this is her first recording of one.
I encountered Dvorak early on, like most of the great composers, but with Dvorak it was the romance interpreted by Josef Suk that I first heard at 13. Its vocal character is what makes the violin what it is. It has so many colorful facets, like no other instrument.
With Dvorak's violin concerto, 50-year-old Anne-Sophie Mutter is rounding out her discography. Now she's recorded all the great violin concertos of the Romantic era. Recently, she was honored for her more than 8 million albums sold.
To me, she's truly the queen of violinists.
After a break of 30 years, the great violinist and the great orchestra have finally joined forces in a new recording.
I could never really understand why someone with such a great career, one of the flagships of the German music business, why a partnership like we had, profitable in every respect, why there was suddenly such a break. Personally, I could never explain it. There must be some reasons of a different nature. But that's made me all the happier that it finally happened again. And I think it was a beautiful, vital, wonderful encounter, which was really fun for both sides. And I hope it will continue, and that we can pick up where we left off back then.
Perhaps the new album will mark the beginning of a new era. Herbert von Karajan would probably be pleased to hear it.